Now broadcasting from the Next Gen Conservative Studio in sunny South Florida, bringing you the latest in politics, current events, and pop culture. This is the Whitfield Report with Sam Whitfield.
Hey everyone, and welcome to this impromptu edition of the Whitfield Report here on Friday. I want to thank you all for joining me here today, wherever you are in the past, present, future hour. Shout out to Alan and Semper in the chat. I'll get to your comments in just a sec. Contact info as usual, all the social media, Twitter, Instagram, at SemTWR_NDC, Gab, Parler, and Minds, at Sam Whitfield, Facebook.com/Whitfield Report. Pretty sure I'll be banned up there soon because I am not going to stay silent about this, even on Facebook. TheSamWhitfield.com for all your info, and on me, and also Telegram, and everything else is in the description links below. If you'd like, please give this a 5-star rating and review on iTunes. And Semper, I am not in Discord today. The software I'm using is Ecamm, which works with Skype, and for some reason Discord on my computer always makes OBS like super laggy, so maybe I need to do like a fresh reinstall of OBS. I don't know, but if you have Skype, you can get on, but I also know that Skype is shit and whatnot. Although Interesting Stuff was showing me the other day that Telegram I guess has like video live chatting. So we could try that, because I know that this thing works with Telegram, too, which is kind of cool. But anyway, so a bunch of you were asking for my reaction to Biden's COVID speech yesterday. And I was actually in class. I'm in my final semester of college, and I was in class when Biden was giving his speech, as it were, and then I saw some reaction clips, from Revenge of the Sis and, some other stuff. Saw some, quick compilations, and I didn't like what I saw, and so I was going to do a stream last night, but then my neighbors, invited me to watch the game, the Tampa, Dallas game. And I know it's escapism and whatnot, but fuck it, we all need escapism every once in a while. But I am here for you guys now to react to this. And I am not very optimistic. In fact, at this point with the Biden administration, just with politics in general, I don't want to say I'm pessimistic, but I'm just not surprised by anything anymore. And it's funny, I used to not be a conspiracy theorist. In fact, when I started doing a show, one of my big things was actually trying to debunk the the Alex Joneses of the world, and like 5-10 years ago, I would have actively been trying to debunk someone like Semper Reloaded. I wouldn't have given someone who was an anti-vaxxer, quote-unquote, the time of day 5 to 10 years ago. Other than, to maybe bring their point, but I wouldn't have had them on as like a guest. But I've also never been for, government tyranny, which is where we're at now. So even the people who generally aren't considered conspiracy theorists, now if you just don't go along with the government narrative, and that's pretty much it. You don't even have to be outside the wall necessarily. You just have to say, wait a minute, something doesn't seem right here, and now all of a sudden you're the conspiracy theorist. So that's where we're at now, and I'm not the only one. Like, even I will tell you, just before we react to it, I know some people who were going to get the vaccine, who after seeing Biden's speech yesterday and just how forceful and how angry he's gotten about it, are kind of like, okay, now I don't really want to take the vaccine, because now they're making me do it. It's not a suggestion anymore, and that's kind of where I was at. If, like, initially I was kind of like, oh well, we'll wait and see what happens. I'll probably get it eventually, but it still made it. The fact that they keep trying to push it and bribe us with stuff is what is really suspicious. It doesn't sit well with me. And I know I'm kind of jumping ahead to my point, but strange times now. So anyway, let's see what old Uncle Joe has to say about this, shall we? And yes, fellow, I am doing this while you're at work. And yeah, I probably am going to be talking to Joe again. Oh, you're actually on Skype, Semper? Well, great then. Let me open Skype. Hold on. We'll get Semper. I'm not sure if I'll be able to see my Oh fuck! Of course I've been signed out of Skype. Hold on here. Let's see if my mother. Brew is going to clip this by the way. I know she's going to. And usually I do have all my passwords. Yay, it let me in. Okay. Yes, Semper, this still is my Skype, so I'll call you when you're ready if you want to hop on. So just let me know and I will I'll hit you up. But yeah, this should be pretty telling. Oh, there's Semper. Hey, buddy. Okay, I'm on. I know I'm on Skype. Let's see where. Okay, there we go. How you doing? I actually didn't, even though you were streaming for like 4 hours. So, um, for some reason, hold on here. Yes, you can. Um, yeah, I don't like using it unless I like absolutely have to. So, I'm surprised that both of us even get traction on Twitter. So, that's pretty good. Okay. Um, they sh- people are saying they can't hear Semper. Well, motherfucker, uh, this should be working. Let's see here. Okay. Let's see. No. The audio levels on Skype are not showing up in my thing here for a reason. That is weird. Um, it's not you. The stupid app I'm using is supposed to be like picking up your Skype, and it's not for some reason. But I can hear you. The audience can't hear you though. So um, hold hold on. I'm not using OBS here. So um, okay, they should be able to hear you now, I think.
Oh, do I need to turn my camera on? I didn't turn the camera on.
No, nah, you don't have to. But hmm. Okay, now for some reason your video isn't showing up on the thing, so that
Because
is
I did a whole thing. I turned my video on. Hold on. No, it shows there. Huh.
okay.
This
Well
is why
they
nobody uses.
okay. Well they can hear you, so that's
Well,
good
here,
at
let me
least.
close out and I'll call back. Give me just a second.
Okay.
Bloop, bloop.
Okay.
Can you see my video?
I yeah, I can see your video. Let's see if the people can see your video.
Oh, you're right.
So nope, it's still just saying Skype guest in HD. So well, anywho, um, at least we can hear. At least we can hear you, and I can record the video of this in Skype. So um,
It's fine. Nobody wants to see my ugly mug anyway.
but yeah. So this I mean if I would almost feel bad, except for the fact that this is Joe Biden, and he's a geriatric old man, and a scumbag.
This bastard declared war on us last night, man.
From what I'm told, he reacted harsher to the Taliban. That's kind of what
I made a comment on that yesterday. I said when I was talking about coming for the unvaccinated and who we are and stuff like that. I was like we're just gonna sit back and we're not stupid enough. We're not we're not run by alphabet organizations. We're not going to pick up arms. We're going to fold into our land and we're going to do our thing. And I said, and I guess you're going to have to do something crazy. I said, but keep in mind, you got your ass kicked by literal cavemen.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's roll this. So
we have the tools to combat the virus. If we can come together as a country and use those tools. If we raise our vaccination rate,
it's not.
Ourselves and
it's
others,
not giving you the audio.
Expand.
Skype is so bad.
Yeah, Skype is shitty. So, let me send you the link to this. So, at least then you'll be able to hear it.
There should be a button on your screen share that says share audio.
Let me see. Stop sharing. Share screen.
So yeah, share computer sound. It's a switch on the bottom.
Well, I'm also on the Mac. I'm also on the Mac version of Skype.
Well, there's your problem.
Yeah, I know. PC Master Race, as some of you have told me. So, geez, I have not used this thing in forever. Okay. Alright. It's saying that the audio should be coming through, but
testing and
I don't know.
Identify people who are infected. We can and we will turn
it's not.
the tide
And I would share it your way, but you probably couldn't put it on your screen with your Mac. How dare you?
Well, I thought this was going to be a solo stream. So this is usually what I use, and although someone brought up, do you really want to hear Biden's old crotchety voice?
You want to hear his wrinkly balls? No, it's well, the one thing you have to do, first of all, and then I'll just hop off here, let you do your stream. I don't want to crash your stream. But first of all, you need to. So at the very end of this, have you seen this? Have you watched it yet?
No, I haven't. This is partially why I want you on. Is to see my reaction, because people think that you're the ranter, but I can rant too. If I can.
You didn't see yesterday. I went hard in the paint yesterday. I was livid. Like you remember when I did that breakdown of Ben Shapiro?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was yesterday. Except with Biden. Let's see. But the one and only Alan Powell hit a fucking home run. And I'm going to send you that link. Hold on just a second. Because, spoiler alert, at the end, the president decides to go ASMR on everyone. And and Alan just knocked it out of the freaking park. Here.
I don't want Biden ASMR. I want
Oh, you want this Biden ASMR? Alan, as he always does, knocked it out of the park, man.
All right, let's see what this is then. All right.
We've been patient, but our patience is. Get vaccinated. Get the shot.
Oh, okay. This is what
Perfect.
This is what Alan kept talking about in the chat.
It was perfect because I was telling everybody like it needs to be on a loop. It needs to be mixed into songs. This thing cannot die. And then Alan, within like minutes, just cranks it out of the park.
I might use that thing in future videos.
Well, he made a statement somewhere that I was like, okay, that needs to be my donation sound. So I got to listen to it again. So it actually helps to watch it here with you. So I've got it pulled up and ready to go. So
have you did you see the Eric Clapton video I sent?
I heard about it. I didn't really watch it. I saw a little bit of it on Revenge of the Sis, but I didn't really watch it.
It's his vaccine experience is pretty telling.
I heard it's pretty bad.
I was gonna play that as well. Yeah, him and Van Morrison too is. I mean, he's always been anti-vax, I think. But also he's Irish, so he's kind of craggy as is, and he's not fake Irish like Gavin McGuinness pretends to be. But
yeah, I was anti-vax for it was cool. Homemade Ramen and Semper Kid didn't get vaxxed for most of their lives, and then once the woman formerly known as my wife had medical. She had the right to make the medical decisions when they had the mumps and outbreaks. And so, well, they weren't really outbreaks. They were the media saying they were outbreaks. But we had gotten state exemptions for my older kids almost their entire life. And then I didn't have the choice of whether the spirit animal got it. And I kept telling her mom, like, I'm telling you, don't do this. But I had nothing practical to point to. I just didn't like, the way that the amount, the schedule, all that stuff, and the spirit animal ended up getting the MMR, and it caused her to seize out twice, and then she just never spoke again. And so since then, it's not even a question. Like I'm almost with it at that point.
The vaccine schedules, even from when I was, a kid to now, have infinitely increased.
Yeah, it's about between 60 and 80 by the time you're 3 years old.
Jeez.
That's 80.
Jeez. Yeah, that is.
And you get 5 or 6 before you even leave the hospital as an infant.
Yeah.
So, I honestly don't think that anybody who is legitimately honest with themselves, with the access that you have to parents like me, who are parents of nonverbal autistic kids, with the rise in autism and Asperger's and all that happy stuff over the years that almost goes directly with the vaccine schedule, the fact that we as the United States have, and it's not even close, the largest vaccine schedule in the world, and the rest of the world has a disproportionate amount of autistic kids that are within the same proportions as the vaccine schedule itself. I mean, there's no way that you can look at the legitimate analytic data of this thing and not draw that conclusion. And now with this COVID vaccine, you cannot look at this and think it's anything other than what it is and be reasonable at all. But I always tell people all the time, I hope you don't get to the point where you have to understand why I'm anti-vax. Because I wouldn't wish that on anyone. I wouldn't wish that on anyone's kid. And now I love my little girl to death. She's amazing. She's an angel. She's unique. But, she's going to struggle for the rest of her life. And I wouldn't wish that on anyone.
Yeah. Well,
if you're one of the unlucky ones, then you will understand why I am as vehement with this as I am.
Well, what's quite telling is the fact that, now all the people who have the shot are still getting COVID, and so it's not preventing it at all, from what I can see.
No, they've changed the definition of vaccine 3 times in the last 2 years.
Jeez. All right. Well, I just sent you the link to the geriatric old fuck's speech. So, yeah, he looks terrible too.
Well, I mean, he sounds good because he's reading from a prompter.
19. It'll take a lot of hard work.
He only messes up his words a couple of times.
Many of us are frustrated with the nearly 80 million Americans.
All right, I just hit play.
Who are still not vaccinated.
Yeah, I saw.
Even though the vaccine is safe, effective, and free. You might be confused about what is true and what is false about COVID-19.
Nope. Not confused at all.
Before I outline the new steps to fight COVID-19 that I'm going to be announcing tonight, let me give you some clear information about where we stand. First, we've made considerable progress in battling COVID-19. When I became president, about 2 million Americans were fully vaccinated. Today, over 175 million Americans have that protection. Before I took office, we hadn't ordered enough vaccine for every American.
Get ready for his brag
Just
about
weeks
shit that
in office.
he caused.
We did. The week before I took office on January 20th of this year, over 25,000 Americans died that week from COVID-19. Last week, that grim weekly toll was down 70%. And then 3 months before I took office,
people died of heart
economy was
disease?
faltering.
Yeah. Semper, I don't know how much you've tuned into my streams about this, but I keep asking for the suicide numbers. I want to know how many people have committed suicide during this thing. They will not.
I mean, let's go down the list: suicide, lung disease, heart disease, car accidents. Let's go. Let's tally them up. I mean, if we're gonna put out like every life matters, then let's actually go. Let's go with gun violence in Chicago. Let's do it.
Well, yeah, gun violence. We could be waiting for that tally for a while, especially in Chicago.
Let's talk about the over 1 million people who die every single year from McDonald's and Philip Morris. Let's go. I mean, if we're going to say every life matters, if we're going to talk about what's causing death, why are you promoting fast food restaurants? Why are you promoting things why aren't you shutting down the tobacco industry? Because every life matters, right? It's a fucking pandemic. 1 million people in the U.S. alone die a year. Actually, it's 1.1 million people every single year. 600,000 on the heart disease side and 500,000 on the lung disease side. Let's go.
Have you noticed that the flu has like completely disappeared now?
Well, they're going to push the flu this year too, because there's a resurgence. They're talking a lot about how you need to get the flu vaccine along with your COVID vaccines.
Never gonna happen.
So you're not vaccinated, Sam. So let's say for the sake of argument, you decided that you were going to become compliant. If you were to become compliant in the schedule that they're expecting you to become compliant, you would have to get 3 vaccines in a 15-day time period. You would have to get COVID-1, you would have to get COVID-2, and you would have to get the flu shot because flu season starts next month. So in the next 15 days, you would have to have 3 vaccines, and then with 5 months from the time you took your first vaccine, you would have to get a 4th. So within a period of less than half of a year, they want you to take 4 vaccines to be in compliant. And that's not even including the pills that Pfizer is trying to get pushed through.
The last time I got a flu vaccine was probably when I was in 8th grade, and it's because my dad took me to get it, because my mom has never been for the flu vax, but when I got it, it's
and all of a sudden your legs stop working.
No, although that would be a good story. But geez, I've never wanted to die, but I did, because not only did I get the flu, I got the worst. Yeah. I got a flu that I can still remember, 15 years later. That's how bad it is.
And you've heard me talk about this before, Sam, but let me make you anti-vax real quick. You're anti-abortion, right?
Yeah.
Okay. These strains of the flu and these strains that are used in the mRNA were created out of the tissue of dead fetuses.
Yeah,
they were incubated in human tissue.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, I know. I saw Bruce City's edit of your rant about that with her perfectly creepy music.
She always does a bang up job
in the background. Yeah, it's.
She just released another one that I haven't watched yet. So it's very subversive. It's called Semper has some weird fetishes or something like that. So she definitely took something out of context and threw it out.
Yeah, no,
She's making me pay for not showing her my feet.
Come on, dude! I showed my feet to her a while ago.
Well, I'm happy that you did, and I'm glad that she was able to get you that from you. That doesn't mean that I'm going to do it. You can simp for her all you want. It ain't happening, Sam.
She's not going to let me go until you show your feet too. I'm a hostage here.
Well, she and Eliza can see my feet when we're walking around barefooted in one of the FEMA camps.
Sounds like a plan. Well, no, they'll separate us because I don't know about you, but I'm planning on making a jailbreak.
The reality is it's a false promise, because they're not going to get me they're not going to get me off my land breathing. So I'm going to be in a FEMA camp.
50,000 jobs.
But anyway, yeah, I'm going
I
back.
would like to do an experiment though with you to see if Bell's palsy will cancel out cerebral palsy.
I'm sure they'd love to do that experiment.
We're now averaging 700,000 new jobs a month in the past 3 months. This progress is real. But while
Hold on,
America
pause it. We're averaging 700,000 new jobs a month because we shut down the fucking economy and everybody lost their job, and then we reopened the economy, and now I'm taking credit for all of those jobs that I shut down and reopened.
Yep.
Dude, do you understand that? Like you go in and rob a bank, and then as you're going out, you turn around and you drive back into the bank and you go, "Hey guys, look, I recovered your money."
Well, that's what the government does all day now.
I wonder if he's going to record the job losses when they fire 25% of the workforce.
Interest of sub goes, wait, is this 10 p.m. on a Saturday? Jeremy, you got. I kept telling you, buddy, you need to stop drinking so much with Sonny. Your sense of time is going to get way out of whack. So.
Oh, see, Jeremy, I didn't realize you were off work. I had somebody cancel out on a stream. I was supposed to run over Sam because I didn't know he was streaming.
We're in a tough stretch, and it could last for a while.
I would have invited you on.
Highly contagious Delta variant that I began to warn America about back in July spread late summer, like it did in other countries before us. While the vaccines provide strong protection for the vaccinated, we read about and hear about and we see the stories of hospitalized people on their deathbeds among the unvaccinated over the past few weeks.
You know,
things
that didn't happen,
This is a pandemic of the unvaccinated. And it's caused by the fact that despite America having unprecedented and successful vaccination program, despite the fact that for almost 5 months... You know what
pandemic is now, Sam?
What is it? What is it this week?
Pandemic. He's turned pandemic because nobody's responding to terrorists anymore. So he's turned pandemic into gamma, into terrorist, to where it's a bucket that you could just toss people into, and they are nameless and faceless. And so it's one of those hate buckets that you can just toss people into, and then all of a sudden they're the bad guy.
Oh.
So we're going to have a pandemic of white supremacy. We're going to have a pandemic of unvaccinated. We're going to have a pandemic of anything they want to paint as evil is now going to be a pandemic of.
Yeah, well they're not even using pandemic properly though, because that has to be like global.
Of course they're not using pandemic. They don't need to use it properly.
Words used to matter, but they don't anymore.
No, they just change the definitions. Words matter. They just change the definitions to fit what they want. Look up vaccination and look at the last year. It's changed 3 times.
80,000 different locations. We still have nearly 80 million Americans who have failed to get the shot.
I haven't failed. I've just chosen not to.
Well, here's the thing, Sam. He says... And do the math. It's very simple math. He says there's 80 million Americans that are unvaccinated. Then he turns around and says that over 200 million people have had at least one vaccine shot. That's 280 million people. That's missing 160 or 120 million. There's 400 million people in this country. He says 80 million's unvaccinated and 200 million have been vaccinated. That's 120 million short. So even his math in this speech doesn't add up.
Yeah, well, I mean...
50% of the country, Sam, is not vaccinated. That's what he says in this thing. He says 200 million people, a little over 200 million people have been vaccinated. That means half the country hasn't been vaccinated.
Well, good.
To make matters worse, there are elected officials actively working to undermine the fight against COVID-19. Instead of encouraging people to get vaccinated and mask up, they're ordering mobile morgues for the unvaccinated dying from COVID in their communities.
No, they're not.
No, what? Wait, Uncle Joe, have you been on InfoWars again?
I mean, it's just a flat out lie.
Yeah, mobile morgues. I haven't seen mobile morgues rolling around.
Well, they did that in the beginning. Remember in the beginning when they had all those videos from New York of them dumping homeless people in a big old pit.
Oh yeah.
Because the morgues couldn't keep up. You know, they switch around depending on where we're at in the narrative. They switch around. So right now it's school teachers. Right now it's, school teachers are dying en masse. And then when everybody was saying, hey, kids aren't dying from this, then all of a sudden the media is like, yesterday 20 kids died from this. So they change up where the problems lie based on what the counter argument is, which is why yesterday I just went off on the counter arguments. In fact, here, let me send you a link. I queued it up for the stream I was supposed to do today. Let me send this over to you. Hold on just a second. Let's see.
Third, if you wonder how all this adds up, here's the
Here
math.
we go.
The
Let's
vast
do a share.
majority of Americans.
Share with timestamp. Copy. This was my response to that yesterday.
All right.
And I shared it with the timestamp, so it'll start up where I had it queued up for my guest that got tied up, which I can't blame her because I had to bail on Daywave about 30 minutes early because the school called and I had to go pick up my daughter.
Oh, cool. All right.
Of people standing up saying no.
I won't be able to hear it,
And
but
so
you'll be
whether
able to
it's a
hear it.
religious
This
thing,
is my
liberty of
response
death,
to when people
or whether
argue
it's
with
your
it. This is
personal
what we need to
beliefs,
do.
or whether it's you just saying you can't tell me what to fucking do. Now is the time to stand up and say, I don't give a fuck what you do to me. Because it ain't about reasons anymore. I'm not going on Twitter and arguing the next narrative that comes out, which, by the way, the next narrative that comes out is OSHA regulates all kinds of health regulations. So why would this be any different? Fuck you. I'm not arguing your shit anymore. I'm standing up and I'm saying, no, fuck you. That is my reasoning. Well, why won't you get the vaccination? You know, OSHA always has done that. Fuck you. That is my explanation. Oh, so you're not worried about you dying or your kids dying or Meemaw dying or me dying or Grammy dying or my grandfather or your grandfather or little kids in Africa? Fuck you. That's my answer. Because even if...
Fuck you, that's my answer. That's
the answer.
Needs to be my that needs to be my new soundbite whenever someone tries to argue with me.
Yep. Nope. And that's how I respond to people. And then some NPC came into my Discord later on and was making all the same stupid ass NPC arguments, and I just kept going, "Hey, CM," I think that was his name. I was like, "Hey, CM, fuck you." That's all I'm going to say. And if you would have been here the whole time, instead of being a stupid-ass troll, you would have heard that I already gave an answer for this. So you can ask if I want to kill Meemaw or any of that shit. I'm going to tell you I don't fucking care. Fuck you. That's my answer.
I think I told this story. Back when the lockdown first happens, or no, it was like about ready to happen. I went into a McDonald's and was just going to grab something, and this and I didn't have my mask, and some bitch in her 40s who wasn't wearing a mask either came up to me and was like yelling at me, "You're not wearing a mask. Do you want old people to die?" And the entire time I'm just going like, 6 feet.
You didn't look at her and go, "Are you?" Point at yourself, like point at your legs and go, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Because that's what I would have done. But if you would have had the action track, you could have stood up and been like, "Bitch, what did you say?"
I heck, well, when society just melts down, I'll steal one of those things. So,
I'm telling you, Sam, I don't know how you haven't clipped that out yet. I gave you clip gold.
No,
you haven't even clipped it.
No, you did, and I'm. It's actually in Final Cut right now. So.
Oh, okay, I got you.
So. No, but it's definitely getting clipped. Brew also is probably clipping stuff together. But
Brew's the best. She screws with me, but Brew's the best.
she screws with me too. So
I did like her last video about you. Her song about you is amazing.
yeah, it is, and I gave her the perfect ammo too.
Well, if you noticed, I contributed to those lyrics.
Yeah. Oh, that was you. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Who else is saying? Who else came on stream was worried about you rolling yourself off a building when Rush died?
Oh yeah. Well, there you go.
Are doing the right thing. Nearly 3/4 of the eligible have gotten at least one shot, but 1/4 has not gotten any. That's nearly 80 million Americans not vaccinated. And a country as large as ours, that's 25% minority. That 25% can cause a lot of damage, and they are.
No, I don't think 25% can cause that much damage. Grandpa's math is just way off. I'm sorry.
Right. I'm telling you, man.
Do
the math.
And
this is the thing. This is the thing that happens with a lot of them, Sam. Like they'll go out and they'll because this is what I do for a living. Like statistical analysis is what I do for a living. And so because that's what we call validation. When you go to validate your data, you take one set of data and you bounce it off of a different set of data. And so if I have the population data and I have the amount of people who have been vaccinated, then when I bounce that off my population data, if there's 200 million people who have been vaccinated and I bounce that number off of 400 million people who are residents of the United States, then it shouldn't come out to 75% vaccinated. It should come out to a little bit over 50, so like 53% vaccinated. By the way, which is also following exactly what the popular vote is on the Democrat side. Mm-hmm. So it should be 53% of people in the United States, but they're not doing that. They're saying 80 million people. Well, 80 plus 200 is 280 million people. There is 120 million people missing from that. Now, you can make the argument, oh, that's how many children we have in the United States. But that could also be vetted out. So why doesn't he turn around and say, and one day we're going to go after the 120 million people who are under the age of 12?
Hospitals are overrunning emergency rooms and intensive care units, leaving no room for someone with a heart attack or pancreatitis or cancer. And fourth, I want to emphasize that the vaccines provide very strong protection from severe illness from COVID-19. I know there's a lot of confusion and misinformation.
No.
The world's leading scientists confirm that if you are fully vaccinated, your risk of severe illness from COVID-19 is very low. In fact, based on available data from the summer,
here it comes. Get ready.
1 out of every 160,000 fully vaccinated Americans was hospitalized for COVID per day. These are the facts. So here's where we stand. The path ahead, even with the Delta variant, is not nearly as bad as last winter. But what makes it incredibly more frustrating is
remember when they were saying we haven't seen these numbers since last winter?
And a distinct minority of Americans, supported by a distinct minority of elected officials, are keeping us from turning the corner. These pandemic politics, as I refer to, are making people sick, causing unvaccinated.
Pandemic politics? This whole entire thing has been fucking political, you geriatric fuck.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me give you a spoiler alert here. He's going to address that. And he is going to say something that potentially only one president in the history of the United States has ever said.
People to die.
He's saying shit here, Sam,
allow these...
that nobody's ever said.
No, I know. It's crazy.
He's about to say the words that started the original Civil War.
All right, well, I'm queuing it back up. Let's do it.
Actions to stand in the way of protecting the large majority of Americans who have done their part, want to get back to life as normal. As your president, I'm announcing tonight a new plan to require more Americans to be vaccinated to combat those blocking public health. My plan also increases testing, protects our economy, and will make our kids safer in schools. It consists of 6 broad areas of action and many specific measures in each of those actions you can read more about in whitehouse.gov. Whitehouse.gov. The measures, these are going to take time to have full impact. But if we implement it, I believe, and the scientists indicate, that the months ahead we can reduce the number of unvaccinated Americans,
we're going to flatten the curve, Chief.
Hospitalizations and deaths, and allow our children to go to school safely and keep our economy strong by keeping businesses open. First, we must increase vaccinations among the unvaccinated with new vaccination requirements. With nearly 80
We're going to do everything we
Americans
can to
who have
force
not gotten
them.
vaccinated. Many said they were waiting for approval from the Food and Drug Administration, the FDA. Well, last month, the FDA granted that approval. So, the time for waiting is over. This summer, we made progress through the combination of vaccine requirements and incentives, as well as the FDA approval. 4 million more people got their first shot in August than they did in July. But we need to do more. This is not about freedom or personal choice.
It is.
It's about protecting yourself and those around you, the people you work with.
Yeah, this was the clip that I saw yesterday.
Yeah, this isn't the worst thing he says. This is just him saying, in direct opposition to those who choose safety over freedom have neither. This is him making a directly contradictory statement to that. But this doesn't even come close to what he says at a little past the halfway mark.
And this is also, keep in mind, the supposed student of history, right? He always brags about that. Well,
okay, yeah, but he's reading a teleprompter, and he doesn't stray from that teleprompter, so he's not speaking his words.
Of course not. But even if he were, let's say that he were, he clearly never read Benjamin Franklin.
Well, of course he has. He doesn't give a shit.
About, the people you love. My job as president is to protect all Americans. So tonight, I'm announcing that the Department of Labor is developing an emergency rule to require all employers with 100 or more employees that together employ over 80 million workers to ensure their workforces are fully vaccinated or show a negative test at least once a week.
Yep.
He's going to protect all Americans by trying to make 80 million Americans homeless.
Yeah.
By taking the most productive of our society and shutting them down. He's going to protect Americans by starving half the population.
Yep. Don't
let that be lost in what he's saying. You got to read through his subtext. He's He's been equipped with all these nice little flowery ways to describe trying to starve people to get them to do what he wants them to do. Destroying their families, destroying their income, causing them to have to go bankrupt and lose their house and lose their car and lose everything because you will not submit to his will. And by the way, I think he uses the word authority at least 15 or 20 times.
Yeah.
His authority.
Yeah, that's what I've noticed.
But still not the worst thing he said.
Some of the biggest companies are already requiring this. United Airlines, Disney, Tyson's Food.
Which all of them are backing
Fox
off of it,
News.
by the way.
The bottom line, we're going to protect vaccinated workers from unvaccinated coworkers.
Why though?
Did you hear that?
Isn't that what the fucking vaccine is supposed to be for?
Of course, but you have the President of the United States telling all of the sheep, we are going to protect you from these disgusting monsters trying to kill you. He's creating a second class.
Oh yeah. Well, as I told someone last night, Joe Biden is an old, he's a segregationist, and this is segregation, just not the one we all think.
We're going to reduce the spread of COVID-19 by increasing the share of the workforce that is vaccinated in businesses all across America. My plan will extend the vaccination requirements
unvaccinated
that I previously issued in the healthcare field. Already, I've announced we'll be requiring vaccinations of all nursing home workers who treat patients on Medicare and Medicaid because I have that federal authority. Tonight, I'm using that same authority to expand that to cover those who work in hospitals, home health care facilities, or other medical facilities. A total of 17 million healthcare workers. If you're seeking care at a health facility, you should be able to know that the people treating you are vaccinated.
No.
Simple, straightforward.
Oh, he's so caring. Listen to his whisper words. He's just breathless about this, Sam.
Semper, he just cares about you so much, and not only does he want to see your feet, he wants to lick your feet as well.
Oh, he gets there. He gets there about how it's his job to take care of the children. What happens, Sam, when they can't find nurses to work as it is? What happens when you fire 25 to 30% of that hospital workforce? What happens? Because I can tell you my team alone, it's going to wipe out half of it. We have 4 people who hold that team up, and 3 of those 4 pillars are going to be wiped out over this. On our team alone.
Yeah.
So what happens when you say, "Oh, I can't just magically make nurses disappear," which they say on television all the time? You're about to make 25% of your nursing and doctor force disappear. And you're already bitching about not having enough beds, not having enough nurses to handle the amount of beds that you have. It's coming. Watch. They're going to fire these people, and then you're going to see people online bitching about it.
I will sign an executive order that will now require all executive branch federal employees to be vaccinated. All. And I've signed another executive order that will require federal contractors to do the same. If you want to work with the federal government and do business with us,
pause it real quick.
Get vaccinated.
So he said executive level employees, right?
Mm-hmm.
So executive level is the executive branch in what he's talking about. I was thinking executive as in all, major federal employees when I heard it last night, but I started thinking about it and I was like, no, he was talking about the executive branch. So let's say someone in the executive branch who is an elected official Let's say somebody in that executive branch, let's say for the sake of argument, and she's not going to, but let's just say for the sake of argument that Kamala Harris said, I'm not getting this vaccination. How do you fire the Vice President of the United States? Can you even do that? Is that even possible? You can fire your appointees, but the Vice President of the United States was supposedly elected. So can you fire her? Can you say, oh, you're not going to get vaccinated, so I'm going to fire you? Can you do that?
Well, you can do something else, but, you know.
What can you do, Sam? What can you do if the Vice President says, I don't agree with you on this, I'm not getting vaccinated? What can he do?
Legally nothing. But he can call over to his good friend Hillary Clinton and say, hey,
this Vice President has information that'll lead to your arrest.
It would be a damn shame if Kamala were walking through an alley and, you know, were to get mugged or something.
Well, actually, that wouldn't work with Hillary Clinton because she would turn around and go, yeah, but that's the one person on this planet that people hate more than me. I'm not killing her. I mean, even Jeffrey Epstein polled better than her.
Jeez, you're right. So,
but let's take it one step further. Let's say Congress decides to put this in play. How do you deal with senators and congressmen and women who refuse to get vaccinated? How do you fire somebody who was elected? See, that's where this problem goes, because he can't.
They will make up rules though for the good of the people.
Well, and that's the point. You are going to have to fundamentally change our republic, which, by the way, he's going to get there. You're going to have to fundamentally change our republic and make it a dictatorship for you to be able to pull off some of the stuff you're talking about right now.
Yep, and they're going to try it.
If you want to do business with the federal government, vaccinate your workforce.
Not really.
Tonight,
yeah, this is normal. They do that. You can't criticize certain
make
countries.
It difficult for you to get vaccinated. The Department of
So
Labor
that's
will
normal.
require employers with 100 or more workers to give those workers paid time off to get vaccinated. No one should lose pay in order to get vaccinated or take a loved one to get vaccinated.
They already do that.
Today,
nobody loses pay to go get a fucking shot.
The vaccine requirements in my plan will affect about 100 million Americans, 2/3 of all workers.
No, it won't. Yeah, well, it will.
Sectors.
Pause it. It will affect 100 million Americans, but not in getting them vaccinated. It's going to affect the lives and the livelihood of 100 million Americans and their families.
Yeah.
He just basically said, I am going to choke out at least 80 million people in this country. And they're either going to submit or they're going to die. Well, or I'm going to try to make them die.
But those 80 million people are also the preppers and the ones who have...
Yep, these are the people who are most prepared for this. They're people who own generational wealth that was passed down. They're people like me who decided to live less than I have in my life so I can afford to buy a piece of land and not owe money on it. Those are the people we're talking about. So good luck. Good luck choking us out.
To those of you running large entertainment venues, from sports arenas to concert venues to movie theaters, please require folks to get vaccinated or show a negative test as a condition of entry. And to the nation's family physicians, pediatricians,
because he knows he can't mandate it.
GPs, general practitioners.
So he's pleading.
You're the most trusted medical voice to your patients. You may be the one person who can get someone to change their mind about being vaccinated.
Nope.
Tonight, I'm asking each of you to reach out to your unvaccinated
Not at this point.
patients over the next 2 weeks and make a personal appeal to them to get the shot. America needs your personal involvement in this critical effort.
We're past all
My
that.
message to unvaccinated Americans is this. What more is there to
Here it
wait
comes.
for? What more do you need to see? We've made
Everything.
vaccinations free, safe,
You're
and
threatening
convenient.
us. We've seen everything we
The
need to see.
vaccine has FDA approval. Over 200 million Americans have gotten at least one shot. You've been patient.
8,000 recalls
Our
from the
patience
FDA.
is wearing thin, and your refusal has cost all of us. So please do the right thing.
Pause.
He's more angry at us than he is the fucking Taliban.
Look at his face. He looked into the camera and told you and me and everyone else who's unvaccinated, we have been patient with you, but our patience is wearing thin. That is called a direct fucking threat. And
Yeah.
so now every single person who was saying, this is going to be hard. I don't know if I want to do this. Now they're... Did you just fucking threaten me? He solidified in that one statement millions of people, probably tens of millions of people, to say, you know what? People like you that said maybe I'll get it down the road. He just solidified with that threat.
Yep.
Fuck you. Fuck you. You're going to threaten me? You're going to threaten me? Come at me.
Yep. That's where I'm at.
But just don't take it
Now,
from me.
if you didn't have a reason before, you do now.
Yep.
Listen to the voices of unvaccinated Americans who are lying in hospital beds, taking
Didn't
their final
happen.
breath saying, if only I'd gotten vaccinated.
This did not happen.
I keep hearing stories about this, but where?
Where do you hear those stories?
Well, the corporate media, of course, but that's my point.
Yes.
Where, like I want like
How many videos of patients saying they wish they would have taken it have you seen?
0.
Well, I've seen like 2 or 3. All news articles. But don't you think if there were people in mass saying this over and over that they wouldn't run that shit in a loop? Don't you think if children were literally in hospitals dying from this, that they wouldn't run it on a fucking loop in the media? Don't you think if somebody would have beaten a Capitol police officer over the head with a fire extinguisher, that they would have had it on a loop? Don't you think if a gun would have showed up on January 6th, that they wouldn't have run that on a fucking loop?
Oh yeah.
They don't have video of this shit. They might have 1 or 2 or 3 outliers, but it's not fucking happening. There's no way when the only example you have is a fucking nurse saying, I was talking to him because we're assholes and we wouldn't let his family in here while he was dying. And he looked at us and he said, I wish I would have taken the vaccine. That didn't fucking happen. There are more nurses dancing on TikTok than people saying that happened.
Yeah.
It's bullshit. All of it. Like they're coming on, and that's probably outside of saying he's going to demolish the Republic of the United States, outside of saying that we're growing tired of you and we've been patient and our patience is running thin. But even outside of the direct threats, even outside of telling you he's going to take your job, even outside of him telling, and by the way, you're going to hear it, how he's going to bypass the Republic of the fucking United States. The most insulting thing about this is he's lied over and over and over, and he stands there with this arrogance like what he is saying is fucking truth.
No.
And it's verifiably false. Even in his numbers, he's off by 120 million people in his data. And he just says it like it's like we can't fucking do math.
Well,
Oh, I hate when people fucking insult my intelligence.
Well,
Go
see,
ahead, sorry.
see, a lot of his audience though can't do math. That's the thing. A lot of his audience, They just, oh, yay, Biden's going to come in and save us. Oh.
Speaking of his audience, scroll down.
Oh, yeah. Not surprising at all.
That's every single channel. The only channel that's even come close is CNN. CNN was a 50-50 split on the up-down votes. Outside of CNN, what you're seeing right now is every single news channel.
Yeah.
That's the ratio.
And also, I'm not surprised. I've seen that all of the comment sections are turned off.
Well, of course. But there's a link for YouTube Kids. So is this going to show up on YouTube Kids? I'm going to have to monitor what my spirit animal's seeing.
Yeah, probably.
If only.
I can't imagine they made this available to kids.
Please don't let it become yours. Second piece of my...
No, but they probably have like some sing-song Sesame Street type of, thing.
Oh, no. I know for a fact that they have timely indoctrination stuff. Like when this whole COVID thing started, I started hearing a song from Baby First. It's bye bye germs. You're just no good for me. I'm gonna wipe you, scrub you. And it just keeps going on. Rub you off of every surface that I see.
For the vast majority.
It's a legit song. You can look it up. It's called Bye Bye Germs.
Yeah, no, I think I've seen it before.
I understand the anxiety about getting a breakthrough case. But as
by the way,
makes clear.
This right here is what we call in the YouTube world, getting people to go and give shitty comments without actually telling people, where you go, whatever you do, don't leave comments in this person's chat. It's called plausible deniability in creating a group of people that will go over and harass somebody else. Whatever you do, don't fucking do it. And he's doing it right here. Listen to this.
If you're fully vaccinated, you're highly protected from severe illness, even if you get COVID-19. In fact, recent data indicates there is only one confirmed positive case per 5,000 fully vaccinated Americans per day. You're as safe as possible, and we're doing everything we can to keep it that way. Keep it that way. Keep you safe. That's where boosters come in. The
Here it
shots
comes.
that give you even more protection than after your second shot. Now, I know there's been some confusion about boosters, so let me be clear. Last month, our top government doctors announced an initial plan.
Okay, pause. Shots. I appreciate how he is trying to pull off the "let me be clear" thing, but his predecessor did it better, and I hated his predecessor.
Yeah, his predecessor created this shit.
Oh, I mean Obama.
Oh, I mean Trump.
Well, yeah, him too. But he was trying to do the Obama "let me be clear" thing, and he doesn't quite nail it. So.
No, he bumbles everything. But again, he has his stuff written by the same people who controlled Obama. So of course you're going to see the same thing. Keep in mind, everything he says was written for him.
For vaccinated Americans.
And this is the guy who runs around and tells everybody that, they tell me that I have to do this and I have to do that and I have to do this. And they tell me I can't do this and they tell me I can't do that. Those are the people who wrote these words.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that the booster is likely to provide the highest level of protection yet. Of course,
we're going to stick you again, fuckers. That's what he's saying.
Which booster shots to give, when to start them, and who will give them will be left completely to the scientists at the FDA and the Centers for Disease Control.
It will be left completely to unelected officials.
We've done our part. We bought enough boosters, enough booster shots, and the distribution system is ready to administer them.
They've already bought the booster shots.
Those eligible will be able to get a booster right away in tens of thousands of sites across the country for most Americans at your nearby drugstore and for free. The third piece of my plan is keeping, and maybe the most important, is keeping our children safe and our schools open.
Oh, by the way, we're coming after your kids as soon as humanly possible. Once we whittle down this 25% to maybe, 18 to 10%, once we whittle it down below the 20% mark, we're going to fucking come for your kids.
But it's also in the name of the safety of the kids, don't you know?
I told everybody, everybody needs to stop and hold out. Like, even all the vaccinated people who regret what they've done and they're starting to see it, hold out. Everybody needs to fucking wait and make all of these vaccinations go bad, because these vaccinations have expiration dates. So make them waste money. Buy your fucking booster shots. Buy your COVID 1 and 2 shots. And we're going to stand here and watch as you let billions of dollars that you handed over to the people that you are invested in financially, and watch all of that money you fucking gave them go to waste. So you have to buy it again with the next thing you decide you're going to threaten us with.
No matter how low
Make them lose
risk
money
of any illness or accident is when it comes to your child or grandchild. Trust me, I know.
No.
So
one of your kids is dead and the other's a drug addict. We don't trust you with our kid.
And you also said you like to let kids touch the hair on your legs too.
Yeah, but just keep in mind, just look at his own kids. Don't pay attention to all the kids he's molested, which there's a 30-minute sizzle reel of him inappropriately touching women and children. Let's even forget about that. One of his kids is dead, and one of his kids is a raging fucking drug addict. So I don't trust you with my kids.
But Hunter's totally recovered. I've been told that by CNN. For fuck's sake.
You've also told this is completely safe and effective by CNN. You've also been told by CNN, specifically today, how every single loss of liberty is fucking fantastic. There's a reason they pay those motherfuckers $20 and $30 million a year, because they know that at $20-30 million a year, those people will say whatever the fuck they want them to, because they're a bunch of soulless pieces of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Directly. Let me speak to you directly to help ease some of your worries. It comes down to two separate categories. Children ages 12 and older who are eligible for a vaccine now, and children ages 11 and under who are not yet eligible. The safest thing for your child, 12 and older, is to get them vaccinated. It's not. They get vaccinated for a long time.
Anytime he whispers with compassion, anytime he whispers, he really cares. Sam, he really cares for your kids. I mean, God, he cares for them so unbelievably much. Meanwhile, I'm going to destroy the lives of millions of kids by making it to where they lose their childhood homes because their fucking parents won't submit to my authority. So fuck those kids. Come on, Sam.
Have you seen the compilation reel of all the college kids at the college football games these past couple weeks chanting "fuck Joe Biden"?
No, I don't pay attention to that shit.
It's beautiful.
Anything that comes out viral like that, I think it's all bullshit. So I don't pay attention to it.
It probably is, but it's beautiful.
That's the reason that the only time you ever see
vaccinate.
TikTok on my channel is when I'm laughing at someone.
Adults, almost all
because I don't
serious
believe any of it's
COVID-19
real.
cases we're seeing among adolescents are in unvaccinated 12 to 17-year-olds, an age group that lags behind in vaccination rates.
No, it's not.
So parents, please get your teenager vaccinated.
Fuck you, old man.
Right?
What about children under the age of 12 who can't get vaccinated yet? Well, the best way for a parent to protect their child under the age of 12 starts at home. Every parent, every teen sibling, every caregiver around them should be vaccinated.
That's a lie.
Children have 4 times higher chance of getting hospitalized if they live in a state with low vaccination rates rather than states with high vaccination rates. Now, if you're a parent of a young child, you're wondering when will it be the vaccine available for them? I strongly support independent scientific review for vaccine uses for children under 12. We can't take shortcuts with that scientific work. But I've made it clear I will do everything within my power to support the FDA with any resource it needs to continue to do this as safely and as quickly as possible. And our nation's top doctors are committed to keeping the public at large updated on the process so parents can plan. Now to the schools. We know that if schools follow the science and implement the safety measures
I'm like 10
testing,
seconds ahead of you, Sam.
masking, adequate ventilation systems to be provided the money for, social distancing, and vaccinations.
There we go. Now I'm back on
and
target.
children can be safe from COVID-19 in schools. Today, about 90% of school staffs and teachers are vaccinated. We should get that to 100%. My administration has already acquired teachers.
Uh-huh.
So now he's going on teachers. Do you see the progression here? It's all of the arguments that people have been making in regards to, it's school time. So it's school time. So now we have to push the narrative children and teachers. That's why you're seeing all these news articles about how teachers are dying and all these news articles about how kids are dying. There's no video associated with it. There's no information on the person associated with it. It's just numbers. That's why you're seeing that right now, because we just started sending our kids to school. So now they got to scare the parents about how their kids are going to get sick so they can go and push this vaccination thing. And for the record, the fact that I don't believe any of this viral shit that comes out, I just sent you a Twitter link to a person who accidentally uploaded the wrong video of her crying kid.
I've seen like 2 videos of kids supposedly, dying from COVID. One was false and was actually a pneumonia case that they tried to pass off. The other one was of a supposedly healthy girl who was actually severely obese and was, had comorbidities.
If they had examples, they would be running them on a loop. Just always remember that. Look at Parkland. Parkland, they had a fantastic example of a school shooter. And for months, they did nothing but run Parkland on a loop because they had the video. They had the kids talking. They had everybody in place.
They still bring up Parkland anytime.
But they ran that Parkland video on a loop for months.
I know.
Because they had it. They don't have this shit. It's all talk. That's not saying that Parkland wasn't without FBI fuckery.
At the schools run by the Defense Department, because I have the authority as president of the federal system, the Defense Department and the Interior Department, to get vaccinated.
Wait.
At the schools run by the Defense Department, which be base schools.
Well, yes, I was gonna say schools run by the Defense Department. Is that a slip there, Uncle Joe? That's
No, that's there are schools that are run on every military base.
Oh, those ones. Okay, yeah, for for brats.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to call them that.
Yeah, for military brats. It's okay. My mom grew up in the Air Force, so or the Air Force.
It doesn't offend me. I think most kids are brats.
That's authority I possess. Tonight I'm announcing that will require all of nearly 300,000 educators in the federal paid program, Head Start program, must be vaccinated as well to protect your youngest, our youngest, most precious Americans, and give parents their comfort. And tonight, I'm calling on all governors to require vaccination
Here it is.
for all
Here comes
teachers
Sam.
and staff. Some already have done so. We need more to step up. Vaccination requirements in schools are nothing new. They work. They're overwhelmingly supported by educators and their unions. And all school
It's not
officials
true.
trying
My
to do
kids
the
have
right
state
thing by our
exemptions for the
children.
next 2 years.
I'll always be on your side. Let me be blunt. My plan also takes on elected officials in states that are undermining
Sam.
you in these life-saving actions. Right now, local school officials are trying to keep children safe in a pandemic while their governor picks a fight with them and even threatens their salaries or their jobs. Talk about bullying in schools. If they'll not help, if these governors won't help us beat the pandemic, I'll use my power as president to get them out of the way. The Department of Education has already begun to take legal action against states undermining protection.
Uh-huh.
Did you hear that, Sam?
Yes, I did.
First of all, he just said he's going to bully you and take away your income if you're unvaccinated. And then he just went, talk about a school bully, when the governor said, okay, if you decide that you want to defy my orders, I'll take away your income. And he says that's bullying, but starving out people who don't want to get a vaccination is not bullying. That is first of all. And then he decides that he's the president of the fucking United States, Sam, said, if you don't submit to the federal authority, I am going to use my power as the federal authority to come in and, quote, get you out of the way.
Yeah.
He is talking about destroying a republic. You are not a republic if you don't have state rights and state authorities. If you can bypass the governor as an executive branch, you've just essentially turned us into something other than a republic.
Yeah. Well,
There has been one president who stood up and did that. And it didn't end well.
Nope.
You want to talk about starting a civil war? It ain't slavery. It ain't abortion. It ain't vaccinations. This kind of shit is what starts a civil war.
This is what I'm saying. This has been my point the entire time. It's never been about vaccinations. It's always been about control.
It's always been about control since before any of us or our parents or our grandparents were born.
Mm-hmm.
The local school officials have...
All right, let's get through this.
Any teacher or school official whose pay is withheld for doing the right thing, we will have that pay restored by the federal government 100%.
So the federal government is going to reimburse teachers. The federal government is going to reimburse the salary of teachers who are not being paid because they're quote unquote doing the right thing and forcing kids to wear masks.
Which by the way, I again, this is another thing I do that I'm like, where did this happen? Because I'm not seeing it.
Well, I mean, there's been a lot of promises made about getting money to people and paying people, and they have failed on every possible level. So we'll see.
Yeah, but I mean, but what I'm saying is they're acting like, oh, DeSantis is, Florida's, Florida's forcing school teachers to suffer because the teachers are, mandating masks. And meanwhile, I haven't heard of any, I haven't heard of any teacher losing their job because they wore a mask or anything. That's.
And if it was out there, they would run it on a loop.
Yep.
I will have your back. The fourth piece of my plan is increasing testing and masking. From the start, America has failed to do enough COVID-19 testing. In order to better detect and control the Delta variant, I'm taking steps tonight to make testing more available, more affordable, and more convenient. I'll use the Defense Production Act to increase production of rapid tests, including those that you can use at home. While that production is ramping up, my administration has worked with top retailers like.
Oh, great! So we can we can COVID test at home now.
Yep. But you know what? Fuck you. No. 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 Sam, how many people do you know that are unvaccinated that have been tested?
I don't want to say, but I know enough of them.
You know a few.
Yeah.
But the vast majority of people you know who are unvaccinated, they're not going and getting tested.
Yeah. Well, okay, so let me ask you something else though, Semper, and I promise that this ties in. Have you ever had one of those have you ever bought one of those home breathalyzer things before?
No.
Okay.
The only home test I've ever bought was a pregnancy test for my 2 kids.
Okay, well those work.
My 2 biological kids.
Well those more than often not work, but the home breathalyzers, my neighbors and I bought them for a goof. They do not work. A lot of them will say that you're drunk when you're stone cold sober. So yeah, I don't trust the COVID home kits.
Sammy, the one that they shove up in your nose to tickle your fucking brain, it doesn't work. It has false positives all the time. There are people who've done 3 and 4 and 5 in a row and had a 50-50 split on positive and negative. There are people who've been tested multiple times until they got a positive, and then they go, "Oh, you're positive." They sit there and tell us that the Delta variant is infecting everyone. They don't have a way. The PCR can't tell you what variant you have. They can't tell you what variant you have. They go off the quote-unquote symptoms.
Yeah.
None of this is real, Sam.
Yeah, and the symptoms list has changed and evolved. It's like trying to go on WebMD for, for stuff.
Sam, you breathalyze your cats before you have fun time with them?
Don't listen to
you sick motherfucker.
Don't listen to her. She's cat is code word for something else.
Walmart, Amazon, and Kroger.
I sure as hell wouldn't let Biden play with my cats though, or anybody's.
You're disgusting, Brew. You're disgusting. I thought the anal hook thing was bad.
She wanted to, Brew was starting to rip my pants off the other day.
Yeah, Brew's suspect. This is like some weird Fed posting that's going on.
And tonight, we're announcing that no later than next week, Each of these outlets will start to sell at-home rapid test kits at cost for the next 3 months. This immediate price reduction for at-home
Why
test
for the next
kits
3 months?
for up to 35.
Yeah, why only for the next 3 months?
Because it's about to ramp up and get way worse. That's why.
Oh yeah.
They need those positive tests to scare the shit out of them because it's about to get real fucking bad.
Reduction.
I'm telling you, Sam, they're coming for you.
We'll also
they're coming for me. They're
expand
coming for everybody.
Free testing at 10,000 pharmacies around the country. And we're committing $2 billion to purchase nearly 300 million rapid tests for distribution to community health centers, food banks, schools, so that every American, no matter their income, can access free and convenient tests. This is important to everyone, particularly for a parent or a child with a child not old enough to be vaccinated. You'll be able to test them at home and test those around them. In addition to testing, we know masking helps stop the spread of COVID-19. That's why when I came into office, I required masks for all federal buildings.
You can't
and on
prove
federal
that.
lands, on airlines, and other modes of transportation. Tonight, I'm announcing that the Transportation Safety Administration, the TSA, will double the fines on travelers that refuse to mask. If you break the rules,
That's fine.
be prepared to pay. And by the way,
I don't go on
show
public
some
transportation.
respect. The anger you see
Show
on
some respect,
television
you
toward
fucker.
flight attendants and others doing their job is wrong. It's ugly. The fifth piece of my plan is protecting our economic recovery. Because of our vaccination program and the American Rescue Plan, which we passed early in my administration,
Show some
we've had
respect,
record
you
job
fucking
creation
disgusting piece of
from new
shit,
administration.
unvaccinated.
economic growth unmatched in 40 years. We cannot.
Economic growth unmatched in 40 years. Oh yeah, that's because you undid everything and then just redid it, asshole. That's all that was.
Well, here's the thing. I spent 4 hours showing you respect because every single threat you're levying, I have enough respect for you to take it fucking seriously. How about you show some fucking respect? Fucking piece of shit. This guy. And the sad thing is, he's only sold his soul, so it's not actually him that's saying all this. He's just the fucking meat puppet that they're moving the mouth of. But he sold his soul, so I can't feel bad for him.
We don't even know who the people. I mean, people keep saying George Soros, but no, the people who.
No, you'll never know the names of the people who are doing this. They don't want attention. Attention's for fucking loser plebs like you and me.
Vaccinated, do this progress, undo it, turn it back. So tonight, I'm announcing additional steps to strengthen our economic recovery. We'll be expanding COVID-19 economic injury disaster loan programs. That's a program that's going to allow small businesses to borrow up to $2 million
to become indebted to us so we can then threaten you to take your fucking business if you don't start vaccinating.
Impacts on their sales. These low-interest, long-term loans require no repayment for 2 years and can be used to hire and retain workers, purchase inventory, or even pay down higher-cost debt racked up since the pandemic began.
And get in debt slavery to the federal government who can then levy rules on you. I'll be interested to see people posting the contracts
continue to improve
for these
the
loans.
care of those who do get COVID-19. In early July, I announced
I guarantee you
the
mandatory
surge
vaccination
response teams
is going to be included in these fucking loans.
Oh, yeah.
I guarantee you. And people are going to sign it not knowing it, and then they're going to be threatened.
That's why you always read the contracts.
The money. You're signing a deal with the devil if you have a small business and you take this money.
From the Department of Health and Human Services, the CDC, the Defense Department, and the Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA. to areas in the country that need help to stem the spread of COVID-19. Since then,
Pause.
the federal government has deployed nearly 1,000.
I didn't point this out last night. I just realized that he said it because I was still laughing at the previous thing he said, or I guess raging on the previous thing he said. He just said he's going to start putting FEMA camps in places that are the highest blah, 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 which is all of the fucking states that are saying no, is what the media is saying is the highest infection rates, even though the states are saying something different. But he's saying he's going to put FEMA camps in places where the governors are blocking the right thing to do. Get ready, man. In the next 3 months, this shit's going to get wild.
Oh, yay. I can hardly wait.
And staff, including doctors, nurses, paramedics, into 18 states. Today, I'm announcing that the Defense Department will double the number of military health teams that they'll deploy to help their fellow Americans and hospiitals around the country. Additionally, we're increasing the availability of new medicines recommended by real doctors, not conspiracy theorists. The monoclonal antibody treatments.
Not the people who disagree with us, only the people who agree with us.
Hospitalization by up to 70% for unvaccinated people at risk of developing severe disease. We've already distributed 1.4 million courses of these treatments to save lives and reduce the strain on hospitals. Tonight, I'm announcing we will increase the average pace of shipment across the country of free monoclonal antibody treatments by another 50%. Before I close,
I saw it, Bruce.
Let me say this. Communities of color are disproportionately impacted by this virus. And as we continue to battle COVID-19, we will ensure that equity continues to be at the center of our response. We'll ensure that everyone is reached. My first responsibility as president is to protect the American people and make sure we have enough vaccine for everyone.
Yep. And by the way, Brew, yeah, I mean, yeah, your script, yeah, truth is stranger than fiction, ain't it?
American, including enough boosters for every American who's approved to get one. We also know this virus transcends borders. That's why even as we execute this plan
here's where
at
he's
home,
going to tell you that even though you've been struggling,
oh, now you're
even though
worried
you've
about
been struggling
borders.
to pay your fucking bills, and even though you haven't been able to go to work, and even though we didn't give you fucking shit to help you out, we're giving trillions of dollars to other countries.
And also, now you're concerned about borders.
Yeah, but we're giving those trillions of dollars and we're funneling it through the corporations that we are heavily invested in. And by we, I mean the politicians. I would love to see the portfolios of all of these politicians over the last 18 months.
Oh, yeah. Well, Crenshaw has a big stake in, Pfizer.
Well, I bet they all do.
we need to continue fighting the virus overseas, continue to be the arsenal of vaccines. We're proud to have donated nearly 140 million vaccines over 90 countries, more than all other countries combined, including Europe, China, and Russia combined. That's American leadership on a global stage. And that's just the beginning. We've also now started to ship another 500 million COVID vaccines, Pfizer vaccines, purchased to donate to 100 lower-income countries in need of vaccines. And I'll be announcing additional steps to help the rest of the world later this month. As I recently released the key parts of my pandemic preparedness plan so that America isn't caught flat-footed with a new pandemic comes again, as it will.
Did you hear that? Go back. Go back. Go back. 5 seconds. Go to 25 even. Well, no, go to 25:19.
Okay, 25.
Listen to that again, Sam.
All right. Yep.
Vaccines. And I'll be announcing additional steps to help the rest of the world later this month. As I recently released the key parts of my pandemic preparedness plan so that America isn't caught flat-footed with a new pandemic comes again, as it will.
Excuse me?
Next month.
As it will? The new pandemic, as it will.
Yep.
This ain't ever going away, Sam.
No, it's...
They're going to pandemic everybody to give up their fucking freedom. And they're going to keep hammering it and hammering it and hammering it. So even all you people that got vaccinated, guess what? The new pandemic's coming. You heard it right here, motherfuckers. They figured out how to get you to give them power. And if you don't stand up and cross your fucking arms and say no and stop budging, they're going to keep taking and taking and taking and taking and taking. This shit is going down. And you can call me a conspiracy theorist, but I've been fucking right for the last 18 months telling you what the fuck is coming. And you heard it from his own fucking mouth. Not if, when the new pandemic's coming, and it is coming. That is what he said, not me.
Him.
I'm also going to release a plan in greater detail. So let me close with this. We've made so much progress during the past 7 months of this pandemic. The recent increases in vaccinations in August already are having an impact in some states where case counts are dropping in recent days.
If the vaccines are so fucking effective, Joe, then why are you afraid of 80 million of us?
Well, because they're only not effective. They're less effective because of your dirty ass. They're creating a subclass of humans and they're attacking. This is a declaration of war against the unvaccinated. That's what this is.
Oh, I know.
And if you don't stop and hear and read between the lines, not the proverbial you, but if you don't stop and listen to what he's actually saying, in the next 3 months, they are going to start going after people who do not submit. They are going to go, something big is coming in the next 3 months.
Yeah.
And he said it right there. And he's been saying it this whole time. And he's saying that no state government's going to be able to protect you. The federal government clearly is not going to stop it. And I doubt the Supreme Court's going to do anything about it. This is happening. And he has given a 3-month timetable for this. And they're going to ramp up the numbers with these home tests so they can scare the fuck out of everybody. But you heard it there. The next pandemic that is coming.
It would not surprise me if they lock us down.
Well, of course they're going to. Once they whittle you and me and everyone else down to 10 to 13%, it's going to get real fucking dystopian in here. It's going to get real fucking genocide-y once they get it down to 10 to 15%.
Well, I know I have a place with Jesus, so if they want to take me out, I know where I'm going.
And in 3 months, they're coming after the kids. And that's when it's going to get bad. When they start telling parents that they have to vaccinate their kids or they're going to take their kids away, that's when it's going to get dirty.
Yeah, that is when you're going to start to see guns.
Because you can do whatever the fuck you want to me. I don't give a shit. You touch my fucking kids, and I'm going to rip your goddamn arms off.
Critical time.
So all the just leave me alone people are not going to be saying just leave me alone when you come after the kids.
Nope.
We have the tools Now we just have to finish the job.
Yeah.
With truth,
They
with science.
We just have to finish the job with truth and science. Or at least your science.
Oh, no, take it at its word. What is the job? To get everybody vaccinated or eliminate the ones that won't vaccinate. And we've got to finish the job. Read between the lines, Sam.
Confidence. And together, as one nation. Look, we're the United States of America. There's nothing, not a single thing we're unable to do if we do it together. So let's stay together.
But we're not doing it together.
And all those who continue to serve on the front lines of this pandemic. And may God protect our troops.
All right. Look how much time's left for him to take questions. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. I talked over the best part of this whole fucking thing. Back it up.
Okay.
Back it up to 2640.
All right.
That'll work.
2638.
2638. Oh, wait. No. I'm sorry. Why does mine say different? 2633 is go back. Go a little back.
Okay.
It was right before he walked off.
I'm doing 2618.
That's fine.
And together, as one nation. Look, we're the United States of America. There's nothing, not a single thing we're unable to do if we do it together. So let's stay together. God bless you all and all those who continue to serve on the front lines of this pandemic.
Here
May
comes.
God protect our troops. Get vaccinated.
Mr. President, so you thought he was going to take questions because there was 4 minutes left in this broadcast. No questions.
Yet.
And that's that, Samuel.
And that's not editing too. They literally cut to whatever this thing is. So are you excited for Civil War 2?
So run that Twitter video and then we'll be done. I just want you to see what happens when they upload the wrong video.
All right. Oh yeah, I did see that you sent that to me.
And then I got to shut it off because RTC's coming up.
Oh, okay. Oh, let me see here. Okay, let me unmute. Yeah. Oh, I think I saw this in my feed, but I didn't play it.
Oh, play it. It's awesome.
I love you guys.
All these little car videos.
Come here. Come closer for the video. Come closer. Come closer. Put your head right here. Come closer. Closer down. Put your head down here. Act like you're crying. Really quick.
I am crying.
Go like this.
No, Mom, I'm actually seriously crying.
No, I know, but go like this for the video. Go like this. Put one hand up. Go like this. No, go like this. Put your hand like this. But let them see your mouth. Let them see your mouth.
No, Mom, I'm actually crying.
Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me.
I'm actually crying.
I know. Look at me. Look at me. Look at the camera. Look at the camera.
that
It's all about interactions. It's all about clicks. It's all about
I'd love to say that this is
making a scene.
I'd love to say that this is bizarre, but nothing surprises me anymore.
Nope. This is ways to get and that's one of the things. So I despise fighting with people on YouTube. I despise fighting with people on Twitter or anything like that. I just don't like doing. I don't like picking fights with other streamers. And I just don't like it. But that's how you get attention. And I just can't bring myself to do that. It's just not something that I'm capable of. It's gross. And it's just not who I am. And so as a result, I'm never going to have anything really go viral because it's not interesting. This is how you go viral, is to manufacture something that is just over the top. And it has to be manufactured. And so the social media, all of them, incentivize people going over the top to get attention.
Yeah.
And people are so soulless, they'll use their own fucking kids, they'll use their own family, they'll use the death of something to try to get on CNN or try to get on Fox News or try to get any type of and clicks.
Yeah, no, it's weird.
It's not weird, it's by design. It's just weird that somebody would sacrifice their child or sacrifice their beliefs or sacrifice their ethics or morality to do it. It blows my mind.
Yeah, no, I know it's by design. I just can't comprehend doing something like that. It's
well, ask yourself a rhetorical question, Sam. And this is not necessarily you, but let's talk about the percentage of people that you believe would do this. If somebody came up to you and said, I'll give you $1 trillion. $1 trillion. If you will create something, if you will promote, well, no, because it needs to be anonymous. I will give you $1 trillion if you sign this piece of paper that says we're going to inject 100 people that you don't know, and it's going to fuck up 50% of those people. But if you say it is okay and you go to links to be able to get these 100 people that you'll never know, never see, for me to inject this in them, and 50% of them are going to be either seriously injured or die, but I will give you $1 trillion and you will never know who took it and who didn't. Would you take that $1 trillion?
I mean, I wouldn't, but I know that a lot of people that would.
No one would ever know it was you. The vast majority of people would take that and go and buy a fucking island somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
And that is exactly what Pfizer has done. The government has basically said, hey, Pfizer, we're giving you a literally in the trillions of dollar financial decision to take something and put it out so we can inject it into people.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody looks at Pfizer like they're the monster, and they are. But if somebody offered you $1 trillion and 100 people, you pick the location, and we're going to basically kill 100 people in that location, but you'll never know who it was. No one will ever know that you made this decision. No one will ever know that you pulled the trigger. Would you be willing to do that? And I think the vast majority of our society would. I think very few people would say no to that.
Oh, yeah. That's evident. Interest of stuff that it says, hey Semper, you piece of shit, when are you going to stop lying to everyone about you and your job? Just go with it.
No, don't read the silent part out loud. He's trying to start a beef.
Yeah, he's starting. Well,
it's going to be real weird when we appear on the same stream if you're trying to start a beef. I don't think you've thought this out, Jeremy. He's trying to read the quiet parts out loud, Jeremy. See, I saved it. I fucking hate that name, too. All right, man. Well, it is 2:51, so I am going to jet out of here.
Yep, I'm gonna jet out too. Although you and I will probably end up in the same chat at some point, most likely. So, but thanks for coming on, man, and yeah, thanks to the rest of you for again watching me break down another Biden video. So,
no, I appreciate it, man. I had a blast.
So, yep. Go follow Semper at Semper Reload.
All 8 of them in here watch me already.
Yeah. Well, this goes out on audio to people who aren't in here though. So to those people, go follow him at Slaughtering It on Twitter, and follow his YouTube channel as well. And yeah, everyone should know where to find Semper. Twitter. So.
All right, man. I'll talk to you later.
All right, later. And for the rest of you all, thanks for tuning in. And tomorrow being September 11th, we will be doing a 9/11 show. A 9/11, I don't want to say special, but kind of a memorial of sorts, 20 years. So, if you have any stories regarding where you were during 9/11, if you have any memories for those of you who were alive then, which I know is the vast majority of you, but we do have some audience members that were not actually born yet when 9/11 happened, which amazes me. Because I am not that old myself, but I'm old enough, I guess. So anyway, we will be doing the Remembering 9/11 tomorrow, 10 p.m. And other than that, have a good rest of your Friday, and I will see you guys tomorrow evening. God bless, God save this great nation, God, freedom, I can see in that order, and I will see you on the next podcast, as it were.
Thanks for listening to The Whitfield Report on the NGC Network. Please visit Sam's website at www.thesamwhitfield.com and support Sam on Patreon at patreon.com/Whitfield Report. Until next time, God bless, God save this great nation, and God, freedom, legacy, in that order.